So I got married a few months ago, and part of the getting married process is receiving registry gifts. And if you get your gifts from Amazon, they could come in bags like these. Now, I wouldn't describe this material as something I would particularly enjoy having on my person, as it has the texture of a reusable shopping bag, but some of the patterns are kind of fun, and it could make for a cute outfit. Or clown outfit. We'll see. For this first outfit, I will be somewhat following a free dress pattern I found online called the Bet pattern. I thought a vintage-looking dress would make the most sense with the polka dot bags. To start, I printed just the pages for the pattern that go with the top and cut these out. I really struggled with matching up the pieces for some reason because there were a lot of lines, and I unfortunately don't speak sewing pattern yet. But eventually I got it figured out and cut out the pieces for the bodice. When I first read the instructions, I laughed when it said, "Cut to unfold, one becomes lining," because it's really sweet how they thought I wouldn't be cutting as many corners as possible on this dress. However, when I realized just how see-through the material is, I cut to unfold and let one be the lining. With all my bodice pieces cut out and ready to go, I sewed all of the darts together. It's already cool seeing how a weird shape and 2 lines of stitching make something look like clothing. The pattern told me to sew the shoulder seams of the lining and then repeat this process for the outside pieces, though it really doesn't matter which is which. After that, I pinned and sewed the neckline together for both pieces. And then I struggled for far too long on how to sew the underarm parts together. The pattern said to do some things I didn't understand. It was painful.
I'm so confused. Wait a second. Wait a second. Dang it.
But eventually, I decided on folding both pieces in like this and top stitching it. Yes, it's ugly. No, I probably won't be showing close-ups of this dress. For my first fitting, the top fit fairly well, though it was a bit snug and hard to move my arms. But the entire theme for this project is to refuse to redo fitting issues and instead find ways to work around the problem. I had something in mind for this, so I moved on to the skirt. The pattern also comes with skirt cutouts. However, I know I just don't have enough fabric to make an exact replica of what they want, so I'm just basically going to use the big sheet, or the big bag, and cut out the general shape that they recommend, and then my skirt will just end up not being quite as full as theirs. And yeah, then I will stitch it onto the bodice, add a closure, and then we have a dress. The general shapes that I cut out looked very similar to these pattern shapes, but as predicted, I did not have enough fabric for a full skirt, so these 2 side pieces were omitted. I pinned the front and back pieces down at the sides and sewed them together. The original length was giving 1950s housewife on the prairie vibes, so I trimmed a little off to make the dress shorter. The waistband on the skirt needed to be gathered, so I hand-stitched a pretty sloppy straight stitch all the way through the top. Putting the bodice and skirt together, I pulled on that string to gather the skirt to the correct waistband size, pinned the 2 together, and sewed. To finish this dress, I opened the back even more to create somewhat of a V shape, then arbitrarily measured 1-inch openings 1.5 inches apart on either side of the opening, and laced some of the original ribbon from the bags through these openings to create a corset back. Sizing problem solved. And now, let's take a look at the dress. As hoped, I'm getting 1950s housewife vibes from this dress. Alright, for my last outfit, I'm going to be using these gift bags, and yeah, kind of Christmassy, kind of festive. And I'm going to save the smallest 3 gift bags just to hold knitting works in progress, so they'll still be put to good use. And I found a free pattern online for a little overall set, but I didn't really want to print out 45 pieces of paper, so I'm going to just maybe make my own pattern, maybe not use a pattern at all, and I probably won't follow their sewing instructions either. We'll see if it works. For this design, I wanted to follow a pattern from Mood Fabrics called the Tarot Jumper, and the final outfit is supposed to look something like this. But as I mentioned, I didn't feel like sacrificing a bunch of copy paper, so instead I decided to waste this large sheet of paper and try to draw the pattern from just looking at the pictures, without measuring myself a single time, save for this thing that didn't actually accomplish anything. I drew the patterns and started cutting. The only pattern piece that turned out alright was the front bib part, so naturally I had to immediately ruin it and sew the pocket closed on accident. But it's really okay because, as you will soon see, I doubt this outfit will be getting much use anyway. Moving on, I cut out one of the front leg pattern pieces, and from just holding it over my leg like this, I could already tell that the shorts were going to be way too small if I continued with this size. To remedy this, I cut out a scaled up version of the exact same shape and did the same for the back leg pattern pieces. Full disclosure, I have no idea how to make pockets, and the only reason the pockets turned out to be functional is because the pattern had step-by-step picture instructions for this part, so I was able to copy and paste that onto my outfit. To start attaching the pant pieces together, I sewed the 2 front pieces together at the middle seam and did the same for the back pieces. Adding some stitches along the inner leg made one pair of pants that was open at both sides. Fitting number 1 taught me that actually measuring your dimensions could, believe it or not, be beneficial. The shorts didn't reach my waist as I wanted, and the circumference of each pant leg was looking questionable at best. To fix the length problem, I added a 2-inch waistband on both the front and back. Or so I thought. I put the waistband on the side instead of the waist.
This is the back waistband. And this is where I put the waistband. So, to my surprise, when I went to squish these two together, wait, that's the bottom. What is, I put the waistband on the leg? No. No. Okay, here we go. Let's try again.
Taking the leg band off to put it in its correct place took far too long and hurt my feelings. Fitting number 2 showed me that these shorts probably would have fit me back in middle school, but since I no longer have the leg dimensions of a feral 7th grader, I added a panel on either side to give me some breathing room. And finally, to use the oldest trick in the book to fix potential sizing problems, I made the waist adjustable. Let's take a look at the overalls. I'm getting festive Oompa Loompa vibes from this one. Does it fit me well? No. Can I move in it? Also no. Do I feel like I upcycled the gift bags in a meaningful way? Well,